Happy non-secular holidays, you Megaten fans, you. I have a very special episode that I'm going to cover today. So, this is going to be the holiday episode, and today I wanted to kind of figure out what the best holiday topic would be, and I felt that, maybe I might help you guys make a list or kind of document some of the cool bits of SMT merch out there, both in the fandom, so fan art, and in the official outlets. I'm not going to cover too many things that are imports, and sad to say, I tried to find things that shipped worldwide, but some of the stuff that I'm going to be talking about isn't worldwide shipping. Sadly to say, you might not get it if you don't live in North America. Sorry about that, but I tried my best. So in the description, I'm going to leave links to everything I talked about, and you're going to have to do a little bit more cursory information or cursory digging to see if there's worldwide shipping. Without further ado, let's talk about some of this stuff. So I think the most prolific fan artists out there are artists would be Persona and Black. So Artist Black and I don't remember if they just go by Persona or not, but they make a bunch of really, really cool merch, primarily keychains, and it's not just for SMT, but we're going to just talk about the SMT stuff. So in their SMT lineup, they have the keychains, which are about $7. They have this super cute Jack Frost pencil case, which is like a standard pencil case with a printing of their art on the front and back, and it's a little bit longer than a typical pencil, so you can actually store possibly other stuff. I mean, I don't know what else you would store in a pencil case besides pencils, but maybe you're a little bit more creative than I am. And they have like a special little deal where if you buy 6 different keychains, it'll be $30 in total as opposed to the $7 each. So you kind of make a pretty good, it's a pretty good deal, I would say. I actually have one of them with me. It's the Aleph one. I'm going to put a bunch of the art on the screen so you can kind of see, but all the art is kind of similar to this, where it's this fine bridge between cutesy and chibi, but not so Japanese, I guess. So I feel like the art style is a little bit of has a little bit of that American influence. It's not too kawaii, I guess. And I really like that in their art, so I have several of these keychains. And another longtime part of the community who you might not know by name, but you might have seen their art all over. I've seen their art getting reposted over and over again. And Waffles, who is a Megaten fan, cosplayer, and artist, he's made a special keychain that's kind of in a niche within itself. So this keychain is, I guess, their target audience are people who are fan of specific Persona 4 spin-offs. So this is like the nichest of the niche, in my opinion, because you don't really see a lot of Persona 4 spin-off fan merch or just merch in general. Waffles made a Sho Minazuki keychain, and it's adorable. It's two-sided, which the Persona and Black ones are not two-sided. They're one-sided with a white back. The two-sided Sho Minazuki has, Sho on one side, Minazuki on the other. Very awesome. Comes with 2 buttons, which I thought were really cool. Or not buttons. Yeah, buttons. And I think the buttons are based on the design of the jacket, I think, that Sho wears. Don't kill me if I'm wrong. I'm not a huge Shoologist. So another really cool fandom merch seller that I found is Jivke, or Jivke, or maybe it's Jike. Maybe the V is silent. They sell really, really cool fandom merch, having actual merch for the Toot skeleton as well as the Capote using skeleton. Very cool. You don't really see a lot of demon fan art. You typically see protagonist stuff as well as like just really, really popular demons like Jack Frost. But it's kind of refreshing to see someone hit that like other audience, I guess. And some of the art is very playful, and I really like the aesthetic they have. I believe each purchase comes with a sticker, so you buy the keychain, you get a free sticker. That's kind of cool. And I believe these keychains are about $10 each, so it's a pretty good deal. And the last bit of I guess wearable merch I want to talk about is the Jack Frost / Black Frost pins. So I found these pins kind of being reshared on Twitter, and I thought they were very, very nice because I haven't seen an official Megaten pin that looks this nice, and I don't think I've ever seen one actually, and I've never seen a fan one at all either. So they kind of took a wearable market that didn't necessarily exist in to that, I guess. So these pins are enamel pins, and they're about $12 each, or 20 if you buy both. So you can get both for 20, so then that'll save you about $4, which is good. And they're very nice. This seller also sells Megaten stickers. I believe they're from Nocturne, Digital Devil Saga, as well as some Rhino ones, and they're nice. Like, the art style is cutesy, it's fun. I don't know what you use the stickers for, but you got stickers. And the last bit of fan merch I want to talk about is this merch that I guess is geared more towards the collector. So this is merch that someone who loves collecting Megaten, but maybe they have a need for collecting like American only releases or English only releases or something like that. And not all of the things that are released in English are actually officially released. So there's a lot of fan translations out there, and some of the biggest fan translations are SNT 1 and 2. So I found some SNES cartridges that are repro carts that have the that are printed for the SNES, and they come with the box and the whole shebang for about $50. And this is from the seller, Immortal Gems. And there's a lot of other repo carts, a lot of people that did the same thing with SMT, but I kind of like the Immortal Gems, like the total package a little bit more. $50 is a pretty good deal. It's about what you pay like for a new game in this era anyway, so I don't know. It's cool to see this kind of stuff, and you don't really see a lot of people talk about it as much. I think that'll wrap up the unofficial merch section. Now let's say you want to collect some dope official merch, but where do you get it? So, interestingly enough, Atlas USA has an official web store, and you can get all kinds of stuff there. And so I kind of picked out some of the things that I thought were really cool, and I'm going to talk about those things. And I even own some of the stuff, so I can show you some of the stuff that I own. If you really like Persona 5, then you can get them. You're not going to find any other Persona. So far, the web store is just set up to show Persona 5, and for some reason SNT 4. And then Jack Frost. There's a Jack Frost section, and yeah. The website is pretty like messed up though. You're not going to be able to find a lot of things organized neatly. A lot of it's kind of just like mishmash, hard to navigate, and we'll get to it in a second. And like I said, most of the stuff is Japanese imports. The best Japanese import is the Jack Frost plush. So this is about $50, and it's I think it's still just on pre-order. I think almost everything on the web store is pre-order only, and I guess that's because they're waiting to either import it all, or some of the stuff that I've seen that they're listing is stuff that's sold out in Japan. So maybe they're trying to go through another manufacturer, or I don't know. But there's this Jack Frost plush. There's several Jack Frost plushes that have been made. This one's quite nice. It's a pretty big size, and it's $50. Not everyone wants to pay $50 for a plush, but the build quality is pretty nice. None of the clothes are removable, like that one meme Frost that I've seen floating around. But it's cute. Here's a reference to, this is an older Jack Frost. Alright, this is an older Frost figure from 2003, and as you can see, they look basically identical. I almost wonder if they're made using the same pattern, because they look so similar. But I think that's pretty much the best thing that they sell. But I do kind of want to talk about some of the exclusive stuff. So there's a few things that were made exclusively for Atlas USA, and I have some of them. Among those things is the Persona 5 baseball cap. I previously had it. I actually sold it because I didn't really like it. The build quality is alright. The price is okay too. But I think my two favorite bits of exclusive merch is as follows. So this mug is actually one of my favorite bits of merch in the merch store. It's about $20 if I remember correctly, and it's actually pretty nice. It's a really big mug. I have pretty large hands, and it kind of fits all the way there. Larger than a typical coffee mug. The design is super simplistic, but it's printed on nicely, so even when I washed it, it didn't scrub off. This kind of printing does kind of wear off over time, so don't expect to have it for several years. If you're going to actually use it, it'll probably last a couple years before the design gets faded to the point where it's gone or scratched off due to normal wear and tear. The bottom, some people like myself actually kind of want it to say Atlas USA or something on it, along with the date. Just a collector thing, I guess. If you're looking for that, you're not going to get it here. But this is a very good piece of merch that they're selling. It's my favorite. I actually hope they do one with, I guess, the S&T logo or something. Not the yucky new one, but like the old one, the legit one. Because there is one that was released several years ago in Japan, and it's going for like $300 on eBay now, or the Japanese equivalent of eBay. I would like a new one. Atlas USA, hear me. The second piece of pretty cool stuff is the Jack Frost sweater. So the sweater's design is super simplistic, and they are made of alright material, I would say. When you look inside, although on the website it says it's just under Jack Frost, you can clearly see that it's the Persona 5 Jack Frost. So it's not the SMT Jack Frost, that's different. This one, it's alright. I actually haven't worn it yet, but as someone who is somewhat privy to printing, the way that they printed the Jack Frost design on it, it will wear off after several washes. I would say even as soon as maybe a couple of washes, to be honest. So I don't expect this to last for a very long time. It's a somewhat thin sweater, very soft on the inside, but it's very thin as well. And the zipper is actually the YKK zipper, so if you're someone who's privy to the quality of print or the quality of manufacture for clothes, YKK is the standard for zippers. If it doesn't say YKK, it's typically a low quality zipper. So it's built to quality. It's just not a very thick sweater, and the design's alright. The price tag is hefty. I think $50 for a sweater is a bit much, but if you're someone who really likes the franchise or likes the shade of blue, maybe they'll make more stuff if we buy the stuff they already sell. The last bit of merch that I saw, I thought it was original, but I'm not sure, is the SMT4 wall scroll. It looks pretty nice. It's a large wall scroll at 33 inches by 40 inches, and if you're a huge fan of SMT4, sorry, I forgot to mention that's Apocalypse. If you're a big fan of Apocalypse, then you can pick up this wall scroll. Based on the sales of Apocalypse, I don't imagine there's so many people who actually want this wall scroll, but it's fairly cheap. It's about $30, so I think $30 for the size is good. I'm not too knowledgeable about the print quality of wall scrolls or the fabric, but the design itself is nice. It's alright. It's nice to see that they're actually putting mainline stuff on the Webstore, even though it says SMT4, but it's an Apocalypse thing. I also saw that there's a SMT4 mug, and when I looked at it, I realized that it's actually this mug. So whoever codes are and designed the layout for the Webstore, fix that. This is not Shin Megami Tensei 4. I mean, unless it is. Is there some sort of canon where where Nanashi goes to Shujin Academy? Is that before or after the events of Apocalypse? I don't know. Alright, let's look at Sanchi. So Sanchi is a merch manufacturer that does a bunch of different fandoms. But they have some Megaten stuff. So they have Persona 3, Persona 4, as well as Catherine stuff, and Persona 4 Dancing All Night, which is the weirdest of the things that they have. And their merch range their merch stuff ranges from shirts to posters, plushies, and even coasters. So I think the most interesting thing is some of the plushie stuff they have. So they have a few plushies for Persona 4, and those are the Kanji, Chie, and Chie's friend. I can't remember her name right now. Still. But for Persona 3, they also have plushies and are a plush, and it's this Koromaru. So the Koromaru is about $30. Very nice design, very soft. So it's made out of that fabric that they use for baby toys, actually. Weirdly out of the plastic, which I just opened today. He smells like Tide. So if either they washed him or I don't know, they spilled Tide on him while they're sending it to me. The detailing is quite nice, so it's a very nice interpretation of Koromaru. There's actually another plush that exists that's very large that came with one of the movies in Japan, but this is the one that's easier to get if you didn't import that or if you didn't buy that separately for the premium price. This also comes with there's a card inside this. Haven't opened it because, like I said, I haven't even opened the bag that it came in yet. So this is a very nice little thing you get from Sanchi. They also released a new line of pins for Persona 3, 4, and Catherine, and the pins look really nice as well. And the coasters that they sell, they have some for Persona 3, which are shaped like the tarot cards, but the best coasters that they sell are the ones for Catherine, which are designed after the Stray Sheep, which is a location in the game of Catherine, if you didn't know. And underneath the underside of the coaster is actually some trivia for alcohol. So let's say you're using the coaster and you decide to flip it over, which is not using it correctly, you can read some interesting trivia about alcohol while you drink your chocolate or whatever you use your coasters on. Because I don't know if you're going to be using obscure Japanese merchandise. I don't know if you're going to be using obscure Japanese merchandise. I'm gonna kill you. Okay, moving on. Insert Coin is a UK-based company that ships merch from all over. I've seen some interesting stuff from whether it be console-based stuff, so like their Dreamcast line, or stuff from like Uncharted or whatever. They have a bunch of different merch, and they're a great company because they try to do that thing where they bridge the gap between nerd repping and kind of like being fashionable as well. So a little cooler than just wearing a shirt with your favorite protagonist on it. They try to either recreate fashion that exists in the games, or they try to just create a fashionable look that will be acceptable in like everyday use, so you don't have to just wear them at your favorite cons. So that being said, they have tons of Persona 4 merch. They've went through different phases in the past where they've had different sets of Persona 4 merch, but currently they have quite a few shirts, a few jackets, and Chie's buttons from the game. Each thing is pretty nice, and they ship pretty much everywhere. The only thing I thought that was kind of funny was their their tarot card themed leggings that are $35. So definitely recommend you check out Insert Coin if you kind of want to rep your favorite franchise, but without looking, I guess, too obvious. So if you kind of want to be more discreet about your love for their Persona 4, then that's your place to go. Now let's assume that you, or maybe someone you know, is a huge fan of Megaten, but they're also a bit of a music snob. Let's also assume that for the sake of this video, you're not going to import the Megaten super obscure vinyl, nor will you be importing the PAL exclusive Persona 4 Arena vinyl, or any of the other really random obscure vinyls that exist in the franchise. Instead, you kind of want to show off your love for the music, and maybe you just played Persona 5. So I Am 8-Bit, which is a great little company based out of LA that manufactures vinyl, as well as some exclusive other content such as posters, and it's quite nice. They cover a lot of the different gaming franchises, and they're more based on the artistry, so they'll have pretty cool artists come and make their own renditions of the characters or artwork based on the games for the purchase. I mean, for purchase as posters or for the vinyls. And the artistry is also documented for the Persona 5 vinyl, and it's documented in the form of a few videos that they've been releasing leading up to the release. So sadly, the release is set for Q4, which is now. We haven't seen a release date or an announcement that they've started shipping. We've only seen that they've started manufacturing them. So that being said, these vinyl are exceptional. I actually own a few vinyl from I Am 8-Bit, and they're all quite amazing. There's several others that they have. I think the current hit that they have is the Cuphead one, and each one is made to fit the theme of the game or to kind of accentuate the artistry involved. So it's kind of elevating the concept of this game merch and making it fashionable, but also kind of showcasing that it's an art. It's not just video games for the sake of video games, or video game music just being printed onto vinyl for the sake of doing it. It's a culmination of all of the artistry involved. But so unfortunately, you can't get the super duper collector's edition anymore, which was a very hefty price. I believe 160 or something, and that came with the complete soundtrack, even though you probably only hear like 10 songs in the whole game. But you can still buy the essential edition, which comes with several songs. I don't recall if they've released the complete playlist, but it's a four LP set, so that means four different vinyl all boxed together, and the art for both the sets have not been revealed just yet, but you can get this for $100. Oh, sorry, you can get the deluxe edition for $175, or you could have if you were one of the people that bought it day one. So, like I said, the build quality is quite nice. We don't know what the art looks like just yet, and we don't know the release date yet, but this is something that you could give to that art / music / video game enthusiast that you might know, or you might be yourself. And since you don't know when it's going to ship, you can just print out the receipt and kind of put it in a box, I guess, and give that person the box. So now you have some goodies, whether it be little stocking stuffers in the form of pins, or some ultimate hipster merch in the form of the vinyl. And of course there's tons of other stuff that I could have mentioned, but I wanted to showcase some of the official stuff you can grab easily, as well as some of the really, really amazing community art that exists that, doesn't really get a lot of press. So sadly, I didn't talk about much of the Japanese stuff, because the whole importing process and the whole Japanese exclusive stuff is something I want to cover later on. But that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a holly jolly little non-secular, non-specific, non-religious holiday season, and I hope you guys have a good one. Thanks for watching.